their last head-to-head on Inferno, and it wasn't as though it was a super heavy-handed performance from him. No, it was just all of Heroic shifting in and slotting well together, performing as a team, as they have been. So it's to the T side that G2 go. Our eyes fall on Kenny S and his ability to crack things open. Of course, the first pistol underway.
Seen G2 do a similar thing on the pistol, or on their CT side, they do, one push down, two sit in the site. This time, Heroic actually have two pushing all the way down, seeing if there's going to be a push. Since there's no push, they're now moving into more control, and they go unspotted. It's a crossfire. It comes down to Stone and Borup.
Oh, G2, you better check this. Yeah, they will. Hard clearing the first corner. Kenny, wary of the second, swapping weapons. Hunter jumps by it, just trying to make the most of the space creation, leaving Kenny S to deal with that. And good thing Kenny got the second kill, or things could have gone the other way. Now, Kenny, not able to get his third. He's going to get cut down at just those two. Nico has a double of his own. And just like that, we are back into the even keel. Nico on damage control. Now moving inwards, almost to the cusp of the bomb site, but he hesitates, as has G2. They slow things down. They tap that bomb once. Amanek coming off of it with Jax by his side. That's two headshots to make the difference. But can this kid, Tesses, steal it away? The bomb's in, and therefore time limited. Doesn't have utility nor a kill to work with. Goes in and sent packing. Jax, 2 kills off at the top of it. That's G2 with the opening pistol.
It's a risk you run, of course, when you have a setup like that. They didn't really put themselves in a position to trade Borup. But the thing is, Borup, does he want to peek? If Kenny S isn't more aware than the rest of his teammates, then Borup has a pretty good spot to get 2 kills. And of course, once they get in the site, Nico's strength alone almost brings that back, makes it a 3v3. So scary the entire time from G2, but really good start here for Kenny S, most importantly. Look at this, man. They just lost the last round.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it. I mean, the buy will tell you something, but it is the MP9 rush mid. Ooh, and Hunter swapping into the Galil, executes the man on Banana. That opens the B route for the taking, and if Cadian makes any noise, then the audio cue gives Jax his frag. Will he stab him? No. Just smacks him down with the MAC-10, takes the money he can. 3 kills for Jax so far in the first 2 rounds, and that's G2 with the 2-0. But they've started most maps with a 2-0. In fact, it was an 8-0 on Overpass. It was a 6-0 on Vertigo, and they're 2 rounds deep already here on the 3rd.
Yeah, that was instant flashback. So G2 do a much better job at stopping the aggression. The last time that they tried that, Heroic were able to win. And it's crazy to see that on a force. A lot of times you run down, mid with a couple of grenades and stuff like that. But typically you see the CT force up and then just they kind of sit back and hope that the T's gamble, because sometimes the T's will have to gamble in your site. Can we talk about this a lot? It's really hard to get info on Inferno without sacrificing a player, but they try to do something a bit different. It doesn't work out too well, but they get a lot of damage.
That smoke will deny Borup and Cadian any real attempt in this. They could boost a player up or just both run through smoke rampant when the time comes. Bomb's getting closer, inching inwards to the B site, but they will definitely send Hunter in first. There's that pop. The big clash coming out of the USPs is enough to get 2 kills. Amanek, he's that bomb carrier. Cadian tries to offset his crosshair, and it works. Now they've got guns, and they've got the bomb. But they've got Kenny S in front of them alongside the smoke. A man advantage made from nothing. Is Kenny going to take this chance? Stown could come in from the back if he needs to. It really boils down to timing. They're going to boost over top of the wall, flushing Nico into the open, but here comes Stown tapping with that P250. Tesses executes, and Heroic with nothing robbed the round.
I didn't see it, but you tell me, was that Amanek needing to get out of there?
Maybe, but he couldn't because Cadian didn't even try to get the kills, man. Cadian jumps into Banana. So Amanek's kind of like, there's a player right there. I should kill him because he's sprinting in with no regard for his own life, but it was just the setup. So maybe Amanek gets stuck, but I don't really think he had a chance to even leave, Mo.
Okay. Yeah, I did no idea, but either way, the flash peaks, they're just straight up losing the duels to the USBs. This is how they get in your head. They're just so good with every gun, and yeah, they can even find an edge on a round like that, even after G2 survive the barrel down mid. on the second round with armor, with better guns. Insane. And because it was a save, they pick up all these. They pick up guns, and they also have extra money. They even got an AK off of this. Just tough.
Another attempt with the flash on Banana. Hits the mark versus Kenny. But Hunter able to answer back with the first kill here for G2. 4v4. Stown's got the op. Smoke goes down. Things slow down. 50 seconds to play.
Looking at the utility, they have enough to execute. They're pretty comfortable. I think they're just going to commit to B now. And Stown, it's about him. Shooting gallery or not. One shot goes off, and it seems like a flank can now come in. Spam's almost good, and they flanked. Oh, I didn't even realize they actually got Kenny into construction. So now the 3-on-3 situation to make sure Kenny does not get his hands on that op.
They recovered.
They also have really good utility, but that's one set gone.
Blown into tomorrow. Nico losing his head. Molotov does force Hunter off of his initial position, and a second towards the new box should be enough for Borup to get into the engagement. Now it's even, 2v2, but they don't know the player about the pit. Amanek, he gets burned out. These mollies are fantastic.
Well, they don't know.
They don't know about Hunter. No, he moved out to the pillar. It was unconfirmed damage, so now he's fixated on the wrong direction. It's a one-tap dirt nap as G2 take back a third.
Okay, yeah, they came close. I think it's all about the Deagle kill then from Jax, because he knocks down the player who has a smoke. That could have been a smoke for Banana, and then they could have cleared out the angles. They do a good job with the utility that they do have, though. The couple of incendiaries, closing out some of those angles, but even better to G2 to pull that back after, first of all, losing to full USPs, and then secondly, losing the opening kill in the following round. Weird. 2 ops.
Dangerous peek. Jax ready for that one. Good job by Jax. You know, he had a rough first map in this series, and I feel like the aim's coming back to him. It's down with the op. He's going to have more than one. Hates the second. Goes for the third, but Borup's going to body bag that bad boy. 4 versus 2. Amanek trying to just recover bomb, but I think Stown's going to stick around and try and play for this. Flash in front. Knows there could be someone. Yeah, that confirms it. TSS even kind of killing Jax in this situation makes things go from bad to worse, and it's a no scope to the gut of Amanek.
Wow. Okay, well, first of all, they had the 2 ops set up, which is such a weird like situation. I don't even know how they were able to pick both those up after that round, but of course, when you hear 1 op, you don't think there's going to be 2 the first time around, and they can run into Stone because they see Cadian gets taken down at mid, but then Stone gets a free shot. They go to trade, he hits a fantastic shot, and then Borup from behind with the Deagle. These are rounds you don't plan for. They just happen when you have players that are this good. And an exciting game continues to deliver.
Whoa! No regard for his own life. Amanek sprints in. Upgrades to the AK. Down goes TSS. That's a big scalp to take, and Stown's going to miss his shot. He's going to have to try and just use that temporary smoke to deny G2 the B split. Unfortunately for the A players of Heroic, this turns the attention back on them.
Okay, so this needs to be Nico, like, covering his halls. Yeah, and then Cadian just worrying about Arch. And then there's actually a chance that they can pull this back, but they also, as G2, with this amazing split through Library, and the rotations are neutered.
And Cadian's going to drop his first shot. Now he's going to get pressured from all directions, and it's an empty-handed Heroic on the A site. G2 to plant the bomb, and I mean, I think it was clear with Stown dropping the smoke grenade and with that like 10-second pause of no movement from Heroic, they were just going to cut their losses if the A-hold didn't manage much. And that's exactly what unfolds here. Cadian misses his chance. He knows he could get killed from apartments. Nico's swarmed. Listen, they walk away with an op and an AK and a chance to stop this hemorrhaging. But for the time being, it's G2 doubling up the score, 4 rounds to 2.
I just feel like Nexa is so good at calling rounds like this when it comes to cohesion, especially with mixed buys. I mean, he does such a good job. He's just a great caller overall. Like, overall, there's just so much done well with utility, where they're rushing, where they're not, you know, the pump base. at all points in the round, everyone feels like they're moving as a unit, even if they might be in two different, like, separate blobs. Covering CT spawn, covering that middle, no one overextending. Just creating a pressure cooker of a situation on A where there just feels so much weight on their shoulders to make sure they get that opening duel. Because, yeah, that shot gets dropped on the arch wrap, then suddenly everybody just comes storming in once they get information on one player on the site. They know there's only two.
Hyper aggression, let's go. I mean, it worked for Amanek last round. Maybe Nexa can take a page out of the book. Hunter's trading the first frag. Cadian's got a lot of pressure, and he's got the big green, sees the man on the top of the box, but misses his first two shots. Now it's desperation. Lays down the smoke. Frags come in. Bottle to the face. He has nowhere to run. And his teammates, well, they're sprinting too. Into the action to try and save him, but into the bullets of Jax and the man on Banana. There is so much damage output coming in from G2, and the CTs haven't even seen them. Temporary delay to the bomb plant. Amanek actually gets a lot of damage taken there. Smokes come out from the CTs. They have one left on them. Borup could run through. He will, stopping the plant. 40 seconds. Nico, tough spot as he's just taken a lot of damage. But to be fair, there is low HP on the remaining three of G2. But yeah, too much to ask for.
They see him fall back. He doesn't know how much damage he did through the smoke, and G2 will win the round. That was great. That was great. I mean, they just like, yeah, that's a scary round to have to go up against. They they follow through with just what looks like a rush, but they also have the follow-up grenades to add some structure to the fast execute and make sure to molly out quad from Banana, have some supporting flashes, cause so much chaos there that the CT players just don't have time to set up. And of course, the biggest benefit of all is if they do get the trades on the site, it's a long time before the CTs can come in to support with their own grenades. So they made Cadian's life hell there, as well as Stoun's.
And
whoa, this is third map. You know, G2 up, and that last map they were up 6-1, and they actually ended up closing it. So another good start here for G2, and eventually, you know, the good starts are going to catch up with Heroic.
Yeah, they got away with the comeback on Overpass.
Yeah,
Vertigo was almost there, but again, you know, historically largest gap in the first half between the head-to-head. Now we've got just pistols. This is looking like the 6th for G2. Yeah, man. Strong T start. And it hasn't come off of the back of a much needed Kenny-S performance. No, it's just been some aggression in the last two rounds. Amanek running with a Mac 10 into Arch. In the 7th, Nexa's doing his impression here on this B site. And post plants, Mohan. Lots of post plants being denied versus Heroic. They'll find B for free. Bomb eventually coming in. This round is 100% G2's to take.
Wow, last map. 4 players from G2 all had over 20 kills. And Jax was the best performer on the team. And we know he is a win condition, so there's no surprise there when you look at the stats. It does tell the tale a little bit better.
Ooh, money for Amanek. More players coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage. Do they get anything? SS one frag, Nexa through the fire. Yes, more MP7s, please. There it is. The 6th for G2 as expected. Just one player down. Minimal losses here for the offense.
Super solid so far. And yeah, G2 are doing a good job with the conditioning, scare them on B from being aggressive. They're not being a slave to the CT side. That's exactly what we wanted to see coming into this map, because it was their T side that just struggled so hard last time. And it's already so much better. And it's also, again, the side that people are really feeling like if they don't get a good T half, it's over. Now next they'll be running up, MP7 in hand. Smoke will go down on Sandbags. Down, I think his position will be known, but he can still get the kills. Top of his cap is showing up. It's the Famas to win the duel versus Nexa. Nexa will now fall back. Hunter will be right behind him and eventually trade. And this is actually a great situation for G2.
Perfect. keeping up that aggression, not letting off, even with the first loss in Nexa. Hunter continues on, seeks revenge, and finds it. Now they're going to go for the boost. Cadian, 1 kill in the opening 8 rounds. Tends to be the consistency for Heroic. Minute on the clock, and G2 rock back.
Always smart about the way they rotate. CT's getting a bit paranoid, peeling back into the speedway. The attention is grabbed, and it's, I don't know if they ran too early, but Heroic seemed to be fully convinced that it's the A site. A wrapping arch might be a good play, but they only have 1 smoke, and Nico gets the opening kill. They must trade.
Oh, and they will. Nice. Just kind of stutter stepping with it. Cadian knowing that they were going to try and kill him. Yeah, this is a chance for Tesses.
Okay,
he's going to need both frags. Ah, they walk away.
Yeah, I was like, how they still go A after? You know,
Don't.
Yeah.
And they will. G2 with a 7th, because Tesses, I'm going to predict he saves.
Yeah, it's a bit too far. I don't know if he's got a full nade kit. Oh, he's running for it.
Run, buddy.
The bomb's not down yet, so then, you know, that gives him a bit of wiggle room. This will not be easy. It will take a heroic effort from Tesses to win this 1v2. Can I cast this one?
Yes, all yours.
Okay, because it's pretty unlikely. So 2 players up. Kenny S opping. He's going to have to bait an op shot. That'll be the first piece of the puzzle, and he does, but it costs him some HP, and that's the end of the round. Back to you, Connor.
You're doing great, man. I was so ready for it.
Damn it.
I was so ready. Yeah, well, he did bait at the shot. It hit him. And, you know, that right there, that seals the deal. So G2, a 7th. I feel like Cadian could have been the difference maker, but they did a really good job, G2, of kind of tempering their peaks on that arch play. And then, I mean, he was stuck in the middle of arch. It's not like he was still back by that column where he could just hide. No. He's in no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
And then they rocked back. There was that moment, man. My heart skipped a beat because I thought to myself, damn, Tesses is going to get a 1v2 chance from Pit. This looks great. But they divert towards the B site and they close it. And that's going to leave Tesses the only player equipped here in the 10th round. Again, 8-0 start on Overpass, 6-0 start on Vertigo, and a very likely 8-2 for G2. Sure, they've got the round win sprinkled in, but Heroic not looking like themselves here.
For sure. Kind of strange, but they've only won the full USP round. And then the even weirder double op with SMG round, where Stown and Borup hit a combination of op shots and deagle shots to win. So no sustainable path to victory here for Heroic. It's been G2 to, make them play unlike themselves. Timidly, scared, and punish them for being aggressive. Which Kerrigan is cited as saying that Glaive referenced, just a bunch of Danish people talking about top level CS, that, and I think they had Heroic in mind, that if a team plays aggressively versus you, you can't just simply sit back. Actually, it's ultimately the only answer is to respond with the aggression until they stop. That's why you got to learn self-defense so you can beat up your bullies. You know what I mean? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
You can't just hide.
That's why Mohan learned Taekwondo.
Yeah, that's why I'm an orange belt in Taekwondo.
How about this? Close proximity from Stown. Oi, there it goes. Jax finding the headshot onto Borup. That's going to initiate the B wrap. And even with Stown getting the 1, so what? It's going to allow for Tesses to save that M4, move it forward. Deagle's in the next one, perhaps for Heroic as well. But an 8th for G2. An 8th on their T side of Inferno. A map that we thought Heroic would have the edge. Again, just to reiterate, 1 month ago, 16-7 was the score for Heroic's 3rd map win. No longer the case. Today, the 17th of October.
And look at some of their recent Inferno stats. We're rocking at 25%, 2 and 6 losses. Best win versus MIBR, a team that doesn't even exist and got absolutely stomped by Astralis 16-6 just now, yesterday, where they definitely got outplayed the entire way through. And the one time they played against Heroic, that's the one match I watched actually. actually. It was a 16-7 loss in, a series of disappointing performances. One of their only wins is versus Endpoint and MIBR. Those are the only 2 wins. Conversely, there's also OG, Heroic, AGO, Navi, Fnatic, and Astralis.
Hell of a day to turn it around.
Yeah.
Remember, this one, a decider best of 3 for Group B. G2 having lost to Astralis yesterday in pretty convincing fashion here on Inferno. Look to make up for it. And already here as they gun for their 9th round, Heroic were waiting to come into the bye, and it's an immediate 5 versus 4. G2 just gonna clump up and work their way into the arch side. Borup, he's good for the first one, and there's that library peek. Oh, so good from Borup. He finishes off with the help from Tess. Now he's starting to burn, but they maintain the man advantage. And Cadian, well, he stops Kenny. It's all on Nexa. He'd need more kills in this moment than he's had all half. And with that bomb firmly under the feet of Heroic, they're going to goose egg it. But he doesn't seem to care. Gets that lickety split headshot to start the 1v3 clutch. The longer he takes, the closer Borup gets to this short A wraparound. And Kenny is Cadian, so fixated that he never even wanted to walk into the angle. So to no one's surprise, Borup arrives in time, and Heroic have found a 3rd.
So both teams knew exactly what was going to go down there. So once Heroic learned that it was a 3B setup, once G2 learned it was a 3B setup out the gate, they went right into their arch wrap strat to punish the fact that the rotator was over at B for at that point in time. So Nico was not supposed to die that soon. But then they missed it's like one of my favorite strats that they do, but then they they didn't throw their CT smoke at all and just let Borup stand there and take his duels. But that was where all the rotators were going to come from. So I'm not sure if they were missing a smoke and they said, screw it, we'll go through it anyway, or if they just didn't throw it and that's where it got messed up. But I actually love that arc wrap strat from G2. Of course, the other thing they could have done, since they technically had 2, they got 1 kill on A, and if you get 2 really quickly, you go lane, because then you don't fight rotators at all. But the added benefit of smoking out arch when you know the rotator is not like in CT spawn yet is that you have further insurance that the rotators can't come in and help their 1A player. So I think they could have won even just by going lane, but decided to go for like the extra insurance in wrap arch. Well, this is respect that we're seeing from Heroic. They're tucked in to their quilted blankets on both sides.
Ooh, Cadian's blinded as he fires the first shot, but it's going well, at least initially. Cadian kind of pushed off of the corners here. Maybe the smoke and Molotov is enough for him to just let this slide. Remember, they have the man advantage, and that's an excellent grenade. Jax to 30 HP. Nico, he will catch Kenny in the mid site. No smoke on the CT cross. This opens up eyes for Heroic. A flashbang does blind the first, but it's false confidence. Jax, he peeks into it, and the second player not blind at all. So because there was 4 men there, Heroic, shoulder to shoulder, move into the B site for the retake, and that's a 4th round. Now, still half of the round count of G2, but at least a good defense being thrown up there between Stown and Cadian. They did enough for those other A players to run in rampantly. Again, you talked about how if people are going to play aggressive, you can't sit back. Well, Heroic, they didn't. They did what they had to. They held the line while they could, and then relied on the retake that was there so quick.
Yeah, it's a tenuous position where you're playing passively, but you cannot just like let the bomb go down. So they do fight from within the site, and yeah, they accomplish the hard job of actually getting those kills. Now it's a crazy spray back and forth. And Flashes makes things real zany over on Banana. Ultimately, Heroic come out ahead. They have bottom Banana control plus the kill, and G2 scrambles to look for another option. And here's where, again, they're trying to avoid that rotator on the A side, but there's still 2 here.
First shot for Cadian. SSC's the barrel. That's an easy peek for him. Easy round for Heroic. Nexa has something to say about it, but his kill towards Arch doesn't do nearly enough. And Heroic seem to be closing this first half with some sort of a comeback. They've bounced into this with 3 rounds consecutive and 2 more to close.
That was tough. At this point, I think they're going to be very happy to see that they've already got 8 rounds because it feels like Heroic are now starting to wake up a bit. They do the best they can, but if you lose the opening kill and bottom B control in like 10 seconds, it feels terrible. Your win percentage is going to be extremely low. So they could have stayed around, slowly worked up banana, or go to A as fast as possible. But this time, avoid the arch rotators, try to hit the site, and try to kill 2 on A, 4v5. It's not a bad idea. It's not going to work all the time, and we see how it looks when it's the worst possible situation. You don't get a kill, but was it worth the shot? Could be. Now we'll go ahead and see 1 AK in the hands of Hunter. Everybody else on pretty terrible guns, and it looks like they just use that pause to see how much they could buy. They've still got enough money to buy next round, I think.
They crunched the numbers. And this is what they came out with. Ooh, nice movement there to dodge the op shot. Amanek even getting the dink. Cadian is in a world of hurt, but he does manage to walk away. Definitely not unscathed, but still standing. Jax creeping through the smoke grenades, potentially looking to pop into this A site as his teammates boil out from Valk. TSS and Cadian with a kill apiece. Hunter trades back 1, and it's again a jumping Mac 10 that offsets the Opper. And Jax now holding on to this, cuts off the B rotates. He's continuing to try to apply that pressure, but Heroic right back into it. They don't want to let this bomb go down, but they can't stop it. Nexa will find a little bit of footing. Hunter's committed to his pit position, and as he gets smoked off, he tries to go over top. They've killed his teammate. He needs to strike at the perfect moment, but they're already both on the bomb site. Frag goes deep, and he goes deeper, finding the kill into Borup. It's him versus Stound to close out the 14th round. It's Heroic with yet another.
That was an awesome round. I mean, it was, from Nex's perspective, a great call. They did some of what they did in the past, but it was a big feint. They wanted to go pretend it was more of an arc trap than anything else, but it was really this hall/pit hit from the last round. They caused a bit of a distraction. They got some opening kills, and it does come down to that 1v1. I think the only thing that maybe they could have changed a bit was Jax. Did he need to stand in the fire and go for the op shot from Library? I don't know. He could have had a good line of sight to cut them off from wrapping and delayed a little bit longer, but who knows how he was going.
Early damage, big time on Banana. Ooh, Stound sees him, throws the frag out. Nice, good bank. Luckily for G2, the majority of those frag grenades go into logs, which had just been evacuated. Still, chip damage each way.
Testing passive mode again for Heroic and G2. Once they see that there's nobody in these certain spots, they kind of know what to expect. But overall, they've done some good damage here. However, all the damage is over on the B site, so could very easily go wrong if they don't have proper trades. But the post plant looks like it'll be easy.
Two smokes primed. It's gonna blanket lane. They're gonna wrap around Arch. In vast numbers, G2 flooding forward here, creating a wall on the opposing side. Borup, good first kill. Swift headshot, then he goes quiet. Nico's able to help out over top of him, and still from pit, Nico's trying to dish out the damage, but Hunter plants in the corner, and Kenny S just got a kill back on mid, so there is no rotate coming in from that side of the map. It's TSS and Cadian now in the 1v2. Kenny S, way more HP than anybody else. Hunter barely alive. Cadian arrives, but can do nothing about it, and G2 Esports close this T-half with a 3-round lead. Don't go too far. The break is brief, and the action continues soon. 2/3 of Heroic's 6 rounds coming in the final 5 of that first half. It means G2 has had 3 strong starts across this series. And one time it was enough. So let's see if they can close it here on Inferno, getting the better of Heroic and taking the edge into a head-to-head that currently is split down the middle. It's a crucial game as well. RMR points on the line and elimination lingers near. The second pistol already has a lot of players stacked up towards this A site.
This setup never fails, Connor. Never, ever fails for G2.
The old 4-man crossfire. The meat grinder on brackets.
Oh, first time for everything.
Yeah. Hunter goes peeking in, and he gets popped. What's your move, Heroic? Is that the bait? Is Hunter expendable so that the other 3 CTs can just start ripping him up? With a dink on Amanek, now they've got an open door in both directions. Not entirely open, but definitely further than ajar.
Best of 3 pistols, maybe. This round's over. They're gonna smoke B. Amanek gave up. He didn't even bother tossing a smoke down. They're going for some kind of retake, but they are getting lurked upon. They know. The thing is, they know. Heroic know exactly what just happened when they got that kill and they saw Amanek and gushed him. But G2 were not willing to make a move. They didn't want to believe that they were red.
Sure. No, we're way too smart, guys. Look at Nico. Keep your eye on the radar because he is coming in on this flank. So even while G2 move forward, they've got to know this is a possibility. Very swift headshot from Jax. That's excellent. Definitely helps. But again, that flank is coming all the closer. It is steps behind them. It now is Nico starting to fire off, and he will find Nexa. They don't have a solution to him, but he is all that's left. G2 just prioritizing the retake. Now, if Jax can give cover to Kenny, that's huge, but it's the tap from Nico to stop it, and the bomb pops after time. It is Heroic to win the round.
Well, that went way better than anticipated. They had a player listening to all the rotates out of the A site. That didn't pan out. They had the setup on the B site with so much time. Take off the bomb for free. And yeah, it came way closer than I thought it would after all of that. But yeah, good attempt for G2. They do what they can. But they use that CT setup a lot on this map. So I feel like yeah, it was just a smart rotate. Once you saw Heroic walking back to B, you could see they were pretty much reading into exactly what they should go for, and it was a good call from them here on the pistol after getting the opening kill. So now into round 17, the buy up, but it's not a full investment. It's just the Deagles. If this was Heroic buying and they were G2 on the CT side, it would be Deagles and armor and utility and running down mid. They're trying to be a bit humble about it. But I will say that coming into this map, it for me, the test was for G2 was on the first half more than anything, and they survived that really well. So kind of looking forward to seeing what they can do on CT side. And I don't know if Heroic watched their match versus Astralis yesterday, but if that's the case, there's both the option for G2 to learn from their mistakes versus Astralis, and also Heroic to try to exploit some of the weaknesses they saw Astralis exploit versus G2.
Well, looking to exploit the rotate they created by nading the man off CT. Next up, blown away by grenades, drew the arch rotate towards that B site and opened up a route for Heroic that so far they've abused here on this A site. But that's a reload next to the pit. Jax tries to get in and hit what he can find, but Tesses able to stop it all. So it's just those B players. As we said, never able to rotate because of Heroic drawing it all out, knowing exactly what they had caused. Kind of similarly to the pistol, they know what they net from their opening pickup, and then they fill that gap once they've created it. So good calls by Heroic, heads up situation, and the lead for G2 at the end of that first half is waning. However, of course, no weapons yet. That's what we're all waiting for. Give me the guns.
Yeah, would love to see what's changed for G2. They definitely look like a great team right now. They're standing in the face of some of their recent performances with so far, like how far they've gotten in this series with these maps being so close. They had a little bit of a rough go of it in the second half of Overpass, but at the same time, it wasn't the map they wanted to play. And they pulled up hard on the map they did pick. So that's a great sign. Cadian, Nico struggling a bit. Cadian had a amazing vertigo just a map ago. So wouldn't be surprised if he pops off at any moment.
Oh my goodness, look at this Mac 10 go. Amanek, that's all they've got is that one Mac 10. So he just throws caution to the wind, throws himself inwards, and is sent packing as Heroics on damage control down banana. Just the Deagles here left over for G2. Hunter hoping someone walks through smoke, and he's almost caught trying to retrieve the Mac 10, puts some damage down range, why not? Draws the attention of half of Heroic as their other two players clear apps.
It's a potent lane setup, as the Deagles are really strong here. Super close up. We'll see how the flashes go. Keep an eye on Stown. Activate this execute. The Hall's pop coming through. Oh, Nico. I mean, he's just going to walk out. Okay. They want to.
Hey. Jax is going to try to flank this. That means he just dodged the player in middle, but Cadian keeps eyes on it. Good heads up here from Heroic, knowing where the gaps were. Hunter, with that Mac 10 from Amanek, into the death. He walks. It is Stown with a 2K, 17 frags on this map. We are all tied, folks. 9 rounds apiece.
Bruce, we're now at 9-9. Can you Bruce buffer this? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 9 rounds apiece, we welcome G2 into the octagon, finding themselves moving towards that B site. The reigning, defending champions of the Tide Series, the head-to-head, will have a victor. But who will it be?
100 grand just for that. Yeah, you deliver that. That's all you have to do. They think his job's so easy. Connor made it sound like it was easy. It's not easy. Okay.
Man, you watch UFC, and every time Bruce Buffer gets up in the face of the fighters, even without a crowd, man, you see it pump them up. I think half of the bloodshed is all because of Bruce Buffer.
Yeah, Bruce Buffer.
Also,
a
fashion icon. Let's be real.
That's a fact, without a doubt.
Flashbangs. Frag grenades.
WWE to the UFC.
Yes, sir.
Kenny with a sliver. He spotted something. Whoa, back turn. Borup doesn't know what he missed. And, his best friend dies. Omenek's down in front.
Look at him go. They're scattering.
They are out of there.
Dude, it's just like the round prior where they got the frag grenade kills on CT and then just ran at this A site abusing Arch. But instead of Arch, they go lane. And Jax has slain the front runner. That's going to slow him down. That's going to cool them off.
No
will it freeze them? No, they're scared. Scared that it's a rock back. They didn't get confirmation that literally everyone is there. Jax saw one guy killed him, and everybody else fell silent. TessS knows that Jax is behind this smoke, so that's an easy duel with the confidence of his teammates nearby. Here are the rotates. Better late than never. Perhaps they may not even attempt to bring this back. Nope. Kenny S is gone. That is G2 losing their lead.
This is the thing. They didn't have enough information. It's not really their own fault that they couldn't make that rotate as an informed decision. But what the thing is, though, is that they are less willing to gamble on the read. Like, Heroic get away with that, and there are teams that with that much information would have made the rotate just because they're splitting 2-2, but they're not stacking 4 on a site. They can lose 2 and lose the round. But if they played 4 on A or they add 1 rotate over, they have a much better chance of holding. And they just weren't willing to make that gamble. And I feel like it feels like more and more teams are willing to take those risks now, and that's what's giving them the edge. But credit to Heroic for just literally throwing a flash and getting out of there. You know,
yep.
Like Walmart just opened on Black Friday on the A site. Like, they just literally busted through the door. And Jax did his best to try to stop them. But even after all that, they weren't willing to move.
You got to trample grandmas to save $20 on those PS5s, folks.
Flat screen, yeah.
Get them out of here. Sorry, Martha. You're not cut for Black Friday.
Caron, that's even your real name.
Okay, Jeanette. Ops in from Kenny S. Stown's just hopping here. Man, when Borup put his back up to Kenny S and almost got splattered on that half wall, that could have been something for G2, right?
Why is he jumping up backwards like that?
Aerodynamic, dude.
Right.
Imagine.
Yeah, cat backwards, Borup.
Here we go. 2 pistols on Amanek and Jax. Don't forget that. But the Deagle does pack a punch. And so does Jax. This third map, not his worst of the series. Just unfortunate for him that he's ill-equipped. whipped here in the 20th round when the lead could be brought back.
Hey, this has been a flagship performance for Jax, okay? Things have not been great for him recently. 2 maps back-to-back, over 20 kills. Threat on A, but there's the stack on B. Oof. Pull this one too soon.
It's an important shot from Kenny, and he hits it. Lays down the Molotov instinctually. Kenny S into the next peak. Ooh, 8 seconds left. Heroic, what doing? They are so close to the bomb site, but there's players all over, and there's no way they plant. Oh, wait, excuse me. They already had it in the process. It was so quick, I didn't even catch it. And now, I mean, look at this desperate post plant. They are both hidden back on new box. There's a smoke grenade to be thrown at their feet. Hunter's able to cut one down, and so Borup's all that's left over, but they don't seem to know where he is. There was 2 players back here. Borup gets the first, and he has cover versus Amanek, but it's slim, it's skinny, and it's not enough. Amanek's second kill gets G2 on their 10th.
That's when you're crouch sliding up, you're sweating on your palms, you're constantly wiping them down on your pants. You know that Borup's here. He's got some of the best clutch statistics in the world in these 1v1s, and he just killed your friend. You've got an op, you miss the shot, you lose the round, and they stray farther away from you, leaving you at 11-9 scoreline, but instead, he clutches it. Amanek gets the better of Borup and keep G2 alive. Wow. I didn't notice that they, already had fingers on that plant as well. That was tense. But even with that, the story is going to be told from the G2 perspective of a clutch retake.
God. Hunter just completely burned out of either retreat or offense. Will get away eventually, but at 38 HP. Banana's under question.
Late smoke mid. You just don't often see that anymore. It turns the T's away, but it also lets the T's know that the CTs know, right? It lets them know that their bracket control fake is not going to do anything. It just is a mind game here against Heroic. But there, again, are no rotations, Connor.
See if Amanek can do it again.
What's the info worth if you don't use it?
Ooh. Takes a lot of damage. They almost lined up for him. Good spray. Completely blind. Amanek still able to get Tess off of this. And, well, Nexa's in from new box. Hunter so quickly on the flank. He lines up all 3 players and sprays through them all. G2 back with a lead thanks to Hunter's swift flank.
His multi-frag statistics are through the roof, especially in this 4th quarter. He's done this so many times at this point, and you have to switch now. You have to switch to the M4A1S for at least a couple of games of matchmaking.
You can't tell me what to do.
I don't know why I'm saying I'm not going to switch, but it's you who has to switch after all the rounds we saw. That Vertigo round, the Overpass round,
ooh, yes,
now the Inferno rounds. That's most of the maps in the pool, Connor.
Actually, it's 3 of 7.
Okay.
That is not most.
You get what I'm saying. I was speaking of hyperbole, all right?
Hyperboles.
Call me on that. With bans, it's most of the maps.
Okay, there you go. All right, point taken. Fair play.
Oh, wow.
And difficult to play here in this one. Look at this buy. Yuck.
So this time, they make a move a bit faster with Hunter going down mid, but for a second there, they threw that smoke into middle, and then they just didn't move. They're 2-3, and luckily their 2 players holding the B site did a great job to like delay and do some damage and stay alive, but that looked a bit scary for a second. It felt like it was going to be another round where they're just like, oh, well, if you can't hold the site, we're done. But Hunter did at least act on the information, which is good.
(16-11, 16-10). Those are the score lines of the first 2 maps. So this 3rd Inferno could be the closest of the series at this rate. But this round won't be close at all. Frag Grenade's going to go in and take Cadian to half HP. Not even a single kill for Heroic there with just those minimal pistols. But who would have expected anything much at all? G2, 2-round lead. Remember, they lost it at one point, having had that 9-6 half. Now they've clawed it back.
Yes, yes. And again, okay, for those of you who missed it, in terms of G2's map wins on Inferno, the only 2 times they've won the map in the last 8 were once versus MIBR and once versus Endpoint. And other times they've lost 6 Inferno games, all the really, harder matches versus teams at Heroic's caliber or even better at different points. So this would be an insane win, and it's a decider match in a really tough group. This means the world to G2. I mean, both of them, but G2 are the ones who are struggling more right now.
What's called this stack out? What's up with G2 going 4 on Amo?
Yeah, at this point, I think they're... I mean, this is the gambling thing that I'm talking about. Like, it feels like you need to be more comfortable doing this. But they're pretty low on info, man, and they're all the way back in B. So this is the real hard part. Okay, so they go for a re-aggression, and that actually worked out for them quite well. Hunter, he spots Cadian, but Cadian, did he spot Hunter?
I don't know. We're starting to watch G2 leak back at that B site. We get more utility being thrown out, but with 2 players still in middle, I see a flirtatious bomb carrier. He is working both the sites at the moment, and it's down to commit over towards pit. Cadian does catch Hunter on short side. This is it. They got the stack off of the A site, and now Jax has everything to do. Only able to catch Cadian out of those players, and the other 2 CTs are going to come sprinting in through spawn. TeSeS should hear this, and he denies Amanek any chance to play this 2v3. Nexa, yes, he gets 1 kill, but at what cost? 28 health means he has to leave. Heroic, awesome rock back between those bomb sites. They got the stack off of A. You said they had to play the gamble. They had to be comfortable, and they looked comfortable, Mohan, up until the point that they saw grenades soaring over the B site.
That was a nasty round by G2. It was the perfect moment to have a fake come in. G2 were willing to bite on it completely after probably already being scared of the fact that they left one all the way back in B. And it's when Heroic, they do all the same stuff at the beginning. They take over bracket control. G2's not there. Hunter comes back in afterwards. And the way they lost previously was hitting B with Hunter running down mid after getting that info. But this time around, they kill Hunter before he's about to turn the corner. And it's after they've already pulled players out to rotate off. So just so sick. And, because of the way that people are playing Inferno now on CT side, they're even more susceptible to these fakes. And I'd like to see more of them, but that's tricky. It's going to leave you scratching your head if you're G2. Like, what do we do if this happens again? Certainly, you're going to be a bit more scared about performing a big flank, like Hunter did on that previous round.
I think one of the good points here for G2 is at least Jax is doing a good job of trying to be that solo anchor. It's not like he's the weak point here on map 3. Still, he had 3 players on short lane to try and stop. Only got the first one. Pause is coming to an end. G2 still sitting on 2 of 4. Just feathers and bones. It's always a treat when we get the rare voice lines.
Yeah, this is getting pretty intense.
God, Inferno. Isn't it good when it delivers?
Yeah.
Nice frag there from Amanek, but doesn't hit anything. G2 getting a little bit more adventurous on Banana. Okay. Not going to want to fall to a B bluff, as seen previously in round 23. Amanek off of the flash. There you go. It's down. He kind of welcomed that to happen, peppering the side of the corners and whatnot. Kenny has good supportive flashbang. It's Cadian who's looking to make a difference, looking to move in on Arch as Hunter's position catches them off guard. That's a dink coming out from Nexa before he dies empty-handed. TeSeS quick execution into Jax. The 3v3 is where we're left, but the bomb is heading B. At least it's trying to get past Kenny. But can he? He goes back. Cadian wounded. Hunter in position. All on his own right now. G2 not sure where this is going, but with that grenade coming over the top, the attention is turned, and Hunter very concerned that now the A site's fallen. And sure enough, it has. G2, they've got Kenny S and Aminex still in this equation. No utility for the retake, but it is the double kit. Flash goes out from Heroic, and now there are no nades on the play. It's going to come down to sectioning off these 1v1s. TeSS gets tagged. Now that's confirmed TeSS in pit. They don't know where Cadian is, but a single shot will drop him. He pops up, dealing with Aminex. Kenny trades it. Borup's up close in the corner. Kenny honing in on this. Seems to know, but can he land the shot? Absolutely. Right between the eyes. G2 keeping their lead.
The clutch player when they need him the most. That was another terribly difficult round to read for G2, and they do their damn best. That was a sick conclusion to that round, because that became so much about individual decisions halfway through this execute, and yeah, that ended on a clutch like that. And you can see Kenny firing the warning shot, letting him know, or trying anything sneaky, I'm aware.
So good. Heroic take attack timeout off of that one. Now both teams still sitting on 2 of 4 pauses.
Damn. Yeah, it gets more intense. And you know what? G2 are doing something a little bit better than they did versus Astralis already. Saw it with that flash retake from the half wall on B. One thing they were too scared about doing versus Astralis was finding opportunities to repeak and to do it with grenades. And Astralis kept doing that to them over and over again. Good to see that, kind of them not be afraid to adopt that and get that info early.
Oh, blink and you'll miss it. Kenny S takes Borup down the moment he tried to find comfort in mid. Heroic probably not going to be able to really rock the boat back and forth, but rather just try and full steam ahead. Stown's getting blinded. Cadian completely denied of anything, but Stown is able to trade this. Nexa on his own. The closest rotate comes in the form of Kenny, and he just threw a flash top sight to try and give Nexa room to work. But now he's dead. If TeSS pops up his head, he could follow suit, but it looks like Heroic's going to take control of the kill feed. Swapping weapons as need be. Low HP on all 3. G2 still have Hunter close, but he reveals his position. That's incredible. Incredible luck for Hunter to hit that while crouch walking. Jax has to bring it back. 2 Ts lie ahead. He has much HP as them combined, but they know exactly where he's at already. He sees the confirmation on New Box, lays down the smoke in front. He can focus on the 1v1, and Stown nearly gives it to him, but he knows it's a distraction. Jax trying to figure out where TeSS has got off to. He takes a bit of damage, still able to find the first kill, and he knows Stown's back there. But Jax is inside of the smoke, and he taps that bomb, trying to get the T to make his move, trying to make him spray and commit, but now Stown sees it's clear, and Jax, it's crystal clear. Who's got the clutch, and who's got the lead? G2, 2 away from eliminating Heroic.
No way he pulled that back. In the 1v2, TeSS, he gave him so much time. He used every second of this to perfection, and Hunter got so lucky to get that kill on Banana. But even still, what a clutch by Jax, man. That's one for the books. I was going to say, you know, G2, they did well to set up in the way they did on the B site, but Heroic were giving them hell all the way through.
Oh, man, and it's not going to slow down at all. Not at all. Heroic kind of getting a little desperate for a solution here. Crank the dial right to the 10. And now the 5v2 comes out of it. Jack's able to answer, but there's too many players down middle for him to really contest. This is Heroic with a chance. A 12th round on the board. A CT economy that's not flawless. And still enough rounds to make this go the distance.
Yeah, let's just talk about, like, Jax's smoke. That forces TeSS to play around it, gets him out of the pool, walking over towards Stown, getting info on both players. reading the situation well, abusing the smoke that he threw, not rushing it. We're looking for just a free engagement and using the smoke in a non-standard way. And like, oh, so good. So good. Damn.
All right.
Listen, every round Heroic come close. So it's not like, I mean, they win this. It came close in that previous round. They came close in the round before that. Jax 1v2, Kenny 1v2. And G2 are poor. Well, actually, man, did Heroic have enough money to go and hunt there?
I mean, maybe if they had lost one player, but losing all of them, no, that puts them in an awkward spot. That almost like equalizes out the buys.
On a 9 to 5.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I feel like that makes this a little bit more interesting. It would have had the purchase come out from G2, but they still have that wiggle room that they're going to try and let this one slip. Unless the Scout and the AK on Nexa is enough. Hunter has Kevlar. If they can find another gun, it would be great to put it in his hands. Poor Jax, the weakest link here for G2. Flashbangs go over the top. Tesses with the smack 10, just looking for anything, and he will find Hunter first. But remember, Jax is still back there. Jax is back here, but he eats the flash from Kenny S, and that's the end of that. So very little expected from G2 with such little weaponry to work with. It is Heroic to close the gap yet again. A one-round lead at the end of this one, 14-13. Money caught back up by G2, but the buy in the next round could dictate the rest of this map.
Oh, I have no idea. Almanac is just tucked in here. Or do they? Okay. So patient, so patient. Now, those kills that Nexa got in the post plant where they were hunting him, even though this game is close, that money could actually matter. We'll find out if this does go to 15 for G2 if Heroic win another round in a row. But at this point, oh, wow. G2 are going to have to save again. Oh, holy smokes.
Okay.
Damn.
Money makes the world go round. And round by round, G2 are trying to catch back up to this. They don't have the AK nor the Scout. They still have some pieces of utility here. They go to their pistol strat launders. 4 guys on A.
Never fails. This one.
Except that last time.
That was just with USPs versus Glocks. You can't beat Glocks, but
2 smokes to maybe delay. 5 players on the A site. You want to talk about gambles? They are all in. And you know what? Heroic, kind of sniffing this one out. The Deagle able to open up with Nexa. Oh, a second. Kenny a third. Now they've got the Galil. Oh my God, it always works.
Every time. Oh, Hunter grabs. That's it. That's it. Now it's don't. I mean,
no, it's not.
This will take the clutch. This will take the clutch of his career. He will win this one. Smoke down.
3 of them don't have armor.
When it matters the most. Yeah. I mean, they run at him like banelings and it's over. So he'll have space to plant. They're worried about just throwing this away. But it is going to be the B site. So it'll take some time. You can burn 10, 15 seconds off the clock putting the bomb down with them getting into good positions. So he'll have some space. He's looking for them to make a mistake, but they are not moving.
This is a captivating moment. This could be something special from Stown. Looking to recover versus what was unarmored Deagles from G2. Stown takes position on new box, makes contact with 2 players back in CT spawn. That's half of the puzzle, half of his opponents. He's able to shift back around to the opposite side of the site when he's been spotted. And they've got guns, big weapons coming in from Banana. He's completely sectioned off, and they could just try to stick this defuse. Oh, no need. It's taken away from Stown. What could have been, but what was? G2 Esports with their pistol round strat set up, 4 guys on brackets. It's beautiful.
That's why they try it so often. I guess this is where it's just so easy to be able to eco them if they go for it. And we know that Heroic had been trying to get top brackets as the focal point of every single default, and now they got punished for it. Now G2 off of that round of all rounds. get to match point. Round 29, where it could all end, where G2 could just do what they have not been able to do recently, and that's win an important match.
Their only series victory as of late over top of Endpoint. The better than expected, but still punching bag of Group B. Astralis, Heroic, and G2 alongside them. Not easy matchups for anyone. Now, a real chance to close. Hunter and Kenny, they've got their opening kills. They shut down that arch play. Cadian's trying to find a way back into this. He smokes off Library. That invites Hunter to come back in for another peek. Amanek gets the best of the timing. He walks around the pillar, and Stown will go down. He was hoping someone else would show up, but no need. As a 4v2 is what we are left with. Both players from Heroic on short. Hunter backside has Jax as the crossfire. Closest rotate comes in the form of Amanek over on Arch. They even have the anchor in Nexa. There are questions to be asked here for G2, but they rely on the patience. The play connects. Jax to the head of Nico. Cadian with everything left over. He's trying to fixate on Hunter backside, but this is such a good position. He walks into it. That is G2 Esports with a decider victory over top of Heroic. All three maps needed yet again. A 50-50 head-to-head that G2 now has an edge in.
Amazingly done. And this just makes things way more interesting. Congratulations.